Alright, it's that time of the year again. It's time for my favorite new songs of 2025. It's a little bit later in the year. Usually, past 2 years, we did it in December. Now it's January, and as you may notice, it's not winter because I'm in Australia, which is awesome. It's been so much fun. So it's very cool to do this. A new little setting, and if you've watched them from the previous years, there are usually a lot of Australian bands, and that trend is probably going to continue. So I'm quite excited to do this again. I've been looking forward to it a lot, and today's Thursday, January 22nd. This Saturday is when Triple J releases their Hottest 100 countdown, and I'll be here, obviously, which is so cool. So I'm going to be in Brisbane, and I'm going to be going to a bar where they have a listening party, so we can listen to the whole thing, which is awesome, because last year I listened to it, and I just stayed up all night because of the time difference back in the States. So it wasn't as enjoyable as I'm assuming it will be this year, and Roy Lotus came in second, which they should have won. Chapel Rowan won, but she probably didn't even know that she won. So let's get some Australian nationalism in these votes. I think all my votes were Australian. I made sure. Last year, it's 6 honorable mentions, and then 20 songs going from least favorite, I guess, to favorite. Even though I love them all, obviously, this is top 20 of the whole year. So it's been a good year. A lot of good stuff. This is also super hard. Last year was super hard. But I've been really attentive this year, at least I tried, but a lot of Australians, which is always good. Anyway, 6th in my honorable mentions is Hide It Away from Wallows. They were in the top 10 last year, so dropping off a little bit. They only had an EP this year, so last year they had the album and the deluxe, which I put on. What was it? Bad Remake from the deluxe from their first album, and yeah, so they were top 5, but now they're on the honorable mentions, which is fine. Can't be in the top every year, although some can be. Little hint. Then number 5, we have In My Head by Giant Palms. This is a little Australian band. Not too many listeners. I found through meeting someone, I don't want to spoil what band it is because they will be on this list, and it's not because I'm friends with him, it's actually a banger, but I became friends with him. He's in a band, he's the lead singer, the guitarist, super cool, from Gold Coast, which is where I am right now. So just hanging out with him. He on Instagram, he makes a playlist each month that he thinks of songs you should check out, so I listened to it. I think it was in Byron Bay on the beach. I was listening to it, and that one really stuck out. So it's called In My Head, Giant Palms. Good tune. Next I have number 4 in honorable mentions is Forever by Cassia. Came up on my Discover Weekly. Didn't even realize it was from this year until I looked more into it, because I wanted to try something new, which I will get into. So I always push people to listen to Discover Weekly. I think it's a great way to listen, to find new music, because it just opens doors for you, even if you don't like it. Where did I put this one? Anyway, I just did top 5 Discover Weekly gems. So Cassia Forever would probably be in that, but I didn't want to put it in twice, so it's in the honorable mentions. And then number 3, we have Hemingway by Girl in Red. Little comeback for her, because I didn't love the last album, but she only had 2 songs I think this year, but Hemingway, good tune, very catchy, especially the chorus. Number 2, we have Grim Reaper by the Wombats. So last year we had Blood on the Hospital Floor in the top 10, I think. I just rewatched the video, so I think it was number 9, and it was so fun rewatching it, which just got me more excited to do this. I mean, it's less fun by yourself, but it was so fun to rewatch that. We really had a blast. I was definitely not dreading this, excited, but I was just putting it off, just being, I'm super busy here, so just doing a lot of fun stuff. Only in Australia until end of April, maybe early May. Probably will not be staying for as long as I did ever again, so living it up the most I can while I still have the funds. But So yeah, we have Grim Reaper of the Wombats. That was when the album came out. I really liked that one. That was my favorite on the album, apart from the singles. Next, first honorable mention, we have Billy, Yeah, Yeah, Yeah by Inhaler. This came out right at the new year, and I could have penned it in that it would be in the top 20, and it didn't make it, which is wild. Because I really liked the album too, but that was a single, and I really liked it when it came out. I thought it would be in here, but it's all right. That's a good thing, because now that means there were 20 songs that came out after that I liked better, which I'm happy about. All right, so number 20, we have someone who was in the honorable mentions last year, who I said after, I think I messed up. I should have had them in it, because it's Yacht Club. The song last year was Human Nature. It was the last honorable mention, and it should have been in the top 20. That song is so good. And I saw him in April. Awesome. He played that, and he played No Children, which is a cover of the Mountain Goats, but love his version. Couldn't believe he played that live. Like, I actually was like brought to tears by it. It was amazing. That song's so good. I really like his version. I did hear his version first, so maybe that's why, but I think it's great. So that was awesome to see live. Saw it in Jersey City, super cool. And yeah, I was really excited about that. Number 19, a band I did see live also in November. Got to meet them, so I was here in Australia. I saw them in Brisbane. And it's Cheeky Leash, which in the last video, I said I predict them being in the top 20, and here they are. They released probably like 6 songs maybe this year, if I had to guess. And this is my favorite. This is Change by Cheeky Leash. So they came actually to Gold Coast, to a little club, and I had to work, and I got out and sprinted there, and I missed it. And I met up with the other guy from the other band, who I'll mention in a little bit, who's at 13. And I missed it. I was so upset, but I talked to them, and they were so cool, and they were like, come up to Brizzy, like, we're playing again. And I was working again, but I got off, because thank God, I needed to see them. And I got to meet them. They were so cool. And he was like, Change goes so hard when we play it live. He's like, we all go crazy. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, that's my favorite of your new releases. So that was so cool. Maybe I'll add the picture. 18, we have Last Call by Camp the Hills and Rio Leva. Also, Discover Weekly one just came on. Also, same week, I think, as Forever and Cassia, like just bangers. Sometimes Discover Weekly, it'll be flat for like 3-4 weeks in a row. Just gotta grind. And that was great. I remember that. It was in the summer, and I was like, whoa, like this one is slapping. And yeah, that was my New Year's resolution, was to listen to Discover Weekly every week. Got pretty far, maybe until May, I would say I did it. Then I missed a week, and then you try to catch up. It gets hard. And it is hard to listen to 30 new songs. If you're not in the mood to listen to new music, it's tough, but you gotta try. And once I get to Australia, I just threw it out the window. Like, I had too much stuff to do, so haven't been doing that. But it was a cool resolution. I probably found a lot of good songs because of that. Number 17, we have Hayley Williams, the title track from her album, Ego Death at a Bachelorette Party. Really cool album. Really liked it. And I really like Glum on it a lot. I couldn't decide between those two, but I was like, Ego Death at a Bachelorette Party. Such a cool name. So catchy. And, you know, the lyrics are pretty cool. I respect her a lot for what she was doing there. That was awesome. And I really liked, the album's pretty good. So Glum and Ego Death at a Bachelorette Party, my two favorites. And then 16, we have another title track, Thumbtack from Blonde Shell. Haven't listened to that album in a while, but it came out maybe in the winter, early spring. But really good tune, really catchy. Gets stuck in your head all day. And then 15, we got our second Aussie band, Spacey Jane, Estimated Delivery. Came out with their album, If That Makes Sense. I saw them twice this year, in January, first concert of 2025, and then in September. I went to Brooklyn Steel back-to-back nights. That was really cool. Little bucket list thing there. 2 different bands. They always put on a great show, so that was great. Next, we have So Excited by Skeggs, another Australian band. They released a lot of good stuff this year, but that came out as a single. Remember, like, queuing that up in the morning when I was showering, and I was like, this is a banger. Saw them in March, and they played it, so it was awesome. That concert was crazy though. It was just mosh pit the whole time. Like, it was absolutely nuts. Like, I'm a fan of mosh pits if you feel like it, if you earn it, like, so to say. If you're at a concert just to mosh pit, I don't respect that, or not respect that. I don't support that. I think if like the song's playing like that, it makes you want to jump around and whatever, run into people, good for you. Like at Fontaine ZC, it was perfect. They did it for the mosh pitable songs. Skeggs, they started with Got on My Skateboard. Great song, starts off slow, and when it kicks in, sure, mosh pit. But first note, people started jumping all over each other, and I was like, all right, this is why you're here. So that was kind of annoying. Sorry, but other than that, it's fun. Like, I went to Hockey Dad again, end of December. That mosh pit was great. I feel like people did it the right way there, and I joined, which I normally don't, but I was like, I'm in Australia, and it was a lot of fun. Got a lot of beer spilled on me, though. Next, we have my friend Ryan. He's in the band called Loose Goose, not to be confused with Gus Dapperton's new project. They're both called Loose Goose, and the song is What I'd Do For You. Came up on Discover Weekly. It was the first one on it. I always think the first one usually, more often than not, is a good song. And that was the first one, and right away I was like, whoa, what is this? Chorus is insanely catchy. And I put it on my story, tagged them, started DMing him or whatever. And I told him I was going to Australia, so it was cool. And then I told him about the Gus Dapperton thing, see if he was aware. He was already aware, and he was like, not much we can do, because Gus Dapperton has a bigger platform, I guess, so. Which is crazy, because Gus Dapperton's grew up 15 minutes away from me at home, so good for him. Next, we have another new album from a band I really wanted to see, but didn't get to in September. I was just coming off a lot of concerts and going to Brooklyn a lot. Is very tiring. So I should have went, but whatever. But it's Wolf Alice. They had a new album, The Clearing. Got really good praise, I think, on a lot of these accounts I follow on Instagram, that rate albums and stuff. Like Pitchfork, I believe, rated it pretty well. Which I liked the album, but I didn't love it. The Sofa was the second single, and definitely my favorite. And I mean, I like the feel on the album, Passenger Seat or just Two Girls, but I definitely think it's the best one on the album. It was pretty good. I think when you listen to it all together, it's better than maybe I remember. Maybe I have to listen to it again. But anyway, number 11, we got another Aussie band, The Ryans. They had a new album called Everything Every Single Day. A lot of good stuff on that album. The singles, I didn't take a latching onto right away, which is surprising because I believe Cry was a single. But my choice is Cry. It's a great song. They have a lot of good songs in there. And then they're touring now throughout Australia. I'm not sure where I'm going to be living, so I'm going to try to catch them in April before I leave. That'd be really cool. I feel like they'd be really good live, just a hunch. He's a really good voice. So I would love to catch them if I could. That'd be great. Next, we have Drenched by Ocean Alley. Gonna be seeing them next Friday with Ruby Fields too. So excited to see Ruby Fields. But I did hear that the song's going viral on TikTok, so kind of made me like it less, which I know it shouldn't, but it's an innate feeling. I don't know why, it sucks. But great song. I listened to that album when it came out. Love Balloon. And I was like, yeah, it's pretty good. And it was the last song. And then I was like, whoa, this song's great. So really happy I stuck through it. And then next we have The Growlers, who I'm seeing next Saturday. Saw Brooks Nielsen by himself in September. Maybe that was right before Wolf Alice. That's probably why I didn't go. I don't know. But at Asbury Lanes, it's awesome. Love that venue. Honestly, one of the coolest concerts I've been to. The vibe was so laid back and great. There weren't people bumping into you. If you see me dance, you know I will never dance. I'm a horrible dancer. I was actually dancing a little bit there because it was just so cool. Everyone was just having a good time. No one was I didn't feel very judged at all for anything. It was really cool. So that was one of my favorites of the year. It was just him. He played a lot of Growler songs, of course. But now it's touring with the Growlers again. So they're coming to Miami Marquetta, which is a really cool venue around here, 30-minute bus ride away. So I'm going to go there Saturday. And the Grogans are opening. Never seen them. Super excited. They're doing their own tour after, so I'm going to see if I can catch them when they do a full set, but I don't know. But I'm very excited to see both of them. That's like awesome. When you love the opener and the main headliner, it's going to be great. So I'm really excited for that. Oh, I didn't even say the song. It's Feel My Funk by the Growlers. Came out in September too, so right as I was like seeing them. So September was a Growlers month. It was awesome. It's just on the Feel My Funk EP. That song is so good. I love the ending of it. Love, love, love. Same with Drench. Like, the ending's great. But that song is so good. I love the lyrics at the end. 8, we have a band I did not know was Australian. They only have a few songs on Spotify. This is their 4th, I believe. And all 4 are bangers. So it's supply and demand. Like, they're killing it right now, in my opinion. And they're coming February 13th to Brisbane with Surf Hat. Should be great bands together. I think they'll mesh perfectly. But that's why I have my sister's visiting, which I'm super excited for. So we're not going to be able to catch that, but whatever. Like, she's visiting all the way from the States, obviously. So we're going to have so much fun. And then we're going to go to New Zealand. And then I'm going to Sydney right after to see, some would say, the greatest Australian band of all time. I would say that. Sticky Fingers. They're without Dylan Frost, which is obviously not ideal, but they're doing a 2 rehearsal shows in Sydney right before they go to North America. And I got a ticket. Sold out in like 2 minutes. I got one. The first day I didn't get one, I was so upset. Then they announced the next day, and I was not missing that. So going to New Zealand, then flying back the next day, flying to Sydney. It's going to be awesome. I'm so excited. I mean, the new singer's pretty good. They replaced him with the guy from Camino Gold, Cloud something. He's good. Sounds similar to Dylan, I guess, but like irreplaceable shoes. Impossible. I'm sorry. Nobody can replace him. He is one of the best voices I've ever heard. I will die on that hill forever. Just nobody can replace him. But I am happy that I'm seeing him in Sydney. Wish it was the first night, but can't get everything, so it's a second night. And I think the crowd is just going to carry it. Like, I'm going to be screaming every lyric that I know, which I hope is a lot. They're my number 1 band by a long shot. And top 5 songs were all of them. Top 5 albums were all of them. It was a Sticky Fingers year. I think it will be for the next 40 years. Okay, so sorry, little tangent. So that band is Day We Ran. Did I even say that before? I don't know. Day We Ran. So this is their like 4th song on Spotify. Snake with a Bone. And it's a banger. Great song. Their like style, I don't know what to call it. It's really good though. So I didn't know where they were from. So I Googled it. And they are from Australia. They're New South Wales, I believe. And it's a couple brothers. I was looking into it a little bit. So yeah. It's a shame I can't see them, but whatever. I'd rather my sister visit and we have a lot of fun. So number 7, we have, I didn't even realize I talked about this band in the last episode or whatever video until I just rewatched The Neighborhood, The Comeback. Who saw it coming? Not me at all. I was talking about Jesse Rutherford having his own stuff, and now I never thought I'd see them live. They are doing a tour. They're going to be in New York. They're playing MSG, but it's April 14th. I don't know how I'm going to see them, but I'm going to try to make it happen. Might fly through Europe to see them. I don't know if that's crazy. Might have to do it. And the song is Love Bomb, one of their singles. They did a cool thing. They released 3 singles at once, which I actually really liked. So I guess it's not good for people who aren't like really locked into the band, because it's better to space it out probably to get attention, but I thought it was great. So I really like the singles, really like the album. It's a little long, like 16 songs. I think it was a little top heavy. That towards the end I didn't love them as much, but I really liked Love Bomb, obviously. Keeping it private. Sorry, I have to think for a sec. Little Ol' Me, Holy Ghost, and what's the other one? Tides. Those are my favorites from the album. Holy Ghost, looking back, could be one of their best on the album, but Love Bomb, I was just so excited to have new Neighborhood music. And when I first heard Love Bomb, I was like, whoa. So, really happy about that. I would really want to see them, but they're coming to Australia in like September, when I won't be here, so that sucks. Number 6, this was really hard to choose between 2 songs from this band. One of my favorite bands from Oklahoma City, Husbands. Absolutely love them. Met them once. Coolest guys ever. And they came out with some songs, not like an album or anything. I think they said they were working on one, maybe. Maybe I made that up, but I would love it if they did. I opted for Nameless One. Great song. First one that came out of the year, I think. Super upbeat, so catchy. They also came out with Santa Ana. Is so good too. That was really hard. I was prepared to flip a coin for that. Not gonna have any ties anymore this year. Like I said in last video, no ties. That was a once in a lifetime thing. So couldn't do that. So I had to narrow it down, and I was like, I think I usually have a bias towards like the slower, like more layered songs. So that led me towards Santa Ana, but then I was like, no, Nameless One is a banger. I play that when I want to get like upbeat, like before going out or something. Like that's a good one to go to. So I was like, I can't let it lose because of what I normally favor. Alright, top 5. We have, as I mentioned earlier, seeing them open for the Growlers next Saturday. The Grogans. Never seen them. They've always evaded me. I've always had stuff to do, which stinks, but now I'm going to see them open. And they had a new album called Stagger. Great album. Really liked it. Liked the singles. Roundabout was a great single. Could have penciled that one in before. When the album came out, I was driving, listened to the whole thing. Have a Little Dream. Banger. So good. Like, the ending of it is so good. Just like Feel My Funk Entrenched. Like, it's great the whole way through, and then the ending is so good. And that's why I got all the way up to number 5. That ending is great. And on to number 4, we have an American band who I have never listened to before. So it's always nice having a new band. And they made it all the way up to number 4. So I'm really happy about that. The other top 3 are, I don't know if they've been there, but I've listened to them for a while. But this is a band I've just seen across Instagram, like all those music accounts that just rate albums and stuff. Usually I don't have like the same taste as those, but I like to try them out. So I tried this one out. Different style than what I'm used to liking and stuff. Just good. Always good to expand your taste. And I really liked it. The whole album's great. The band is called Racing Mount Pleasant. So is the album. And shout out to my college roommates from Mount Pleasant, Casey and Graham. But this is, I believe it's Mount Pleasant. I haven't read about it in a while, but I think it was in Michigan. They're from South Carolina, but yeah, called Racing Mount Pleasant. Album's great. The song I picked was You Part 2. Love it. Emily is also great. I couldn't decide between those two for a while, then I just listened to them back to back. You Part 2, so good. Recommend it. Recommend listening to that whole album. It's like kind of jazzy. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. I'm not good at like describing sounds, but I know what I like, and I loved it. It's really good. Number 3, one of my favorite new albums of the year. Maybe my favorite. Oh no, that's a lie. The number 1 spot is, but it's up there. Top 3 album of the year for me. From Australia's own Rum Jungle. Saw them in March. Incredible. And this is a song they opened up to, and the opening track of their album, which was a great way to open. It's called Hi Hello. Awesome song. Once I heard it, I knew it was coming in. But then they tried to give me a run for its money when they released the deluxe, which I know I got mad about in the past videos. That it's so annoying when you get the vinyl, and then the deluxe comes out with amazing songs on it, and you don't have that. So I pre-ordered this album, signed and everything. It came with a bunch of stuff. I was like, I know I'm gonna love it. And then they come out with the deluxe in like July. Amazing. It's All on Your Mind on that deluxe is so good. But I was like, Hi Hello. Same thing with Nameless One. I was like, can't pick the slower one just because I usually gravitate towards those. So I went with Hi Hello. It's such a banger. So had to. Really wish I had the deluxe on vinyl though. But great album, recency bias. And a little side note, I went to a paint and sip class when I first got here because I didn't know anyone, wanted to meet people. We started painting. It was called Brush and Beats. It was really cool. There was a couple. So the girlfriend, she instructed the painting class. She was super nice, super talented. It was awesome. And then the boyfriend, he like was a DJ, like did the music and stuff. Really cool. So they were painting like papayas, and she was like, "Oh, I want you guys to bring something home you could put on your wall." And I was like, "Yeah, that's great, but like, I don't think I would want Papayas, specifically, whatever, particularly. So I was like, can I just do my own thing? She was like, yeah. So I just pulled up the picture of Recency Bias and I started doing that. And then she came and looked at it and was like, oh my gosh, Benny, she's a boyfriend. She's like, we know this band. So they knew Rum Jungle, crazy. And he took a picture, sent it to them, and they put it on their story. Just so cool. So that was awesome. Reposted that. Obviously, it was sick. So then I texted them a little bit about the album and stuff. About their old album. They got rid of their first album on Spotify, and I was like, why'd you do that? And they were like, oh, we had fights with the distributor or whatever. So that stunk. But anyway, then that DJ, he also knew this next band who I just saw in Byron Bay, and he got us on the guest list. So I met them and didn't have to pay for a ticket, and we got to go to the after party a little bit. It was awesome. And that band is The Terrys, another Australian band. They had a new album. I think it was 1st of July, if I remember correctly. Don't know. I remember coming home from a night out, just walking, and I was like, oh my gosh, like it's past midnight, like Terry's album. First song, or maybe second song. I think the first song's like an audio message though. So first music song, Special by The Terrys. I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? Banger. And then I went to see them and they let off with it, which is really cool. Great song. So Special with a Z. Really good. And then last but not least, obviously not least, my favorite. Probably my favorite album of the year. I guess they tied for the win last year. So we'll say repeat champion. They've been in it every year. It's not my fault. They have to start releasing bad stuff or stop. It's not my fault. They're just going to keep being in it if they keep releasing this level of stuff. And yep, you guessed it. It is Australia's own Royal Otis. They have their album Hickey. Amazing. I love it. It's a little more simplified than what they usually do. A lot of people didn't like it, a lot of the critics. But I could care less. So if you like it, you like it. I absolutely love it. Pretty much every song. It's funny. I think my least favorite song on it is their first single. So I was like, it was Moody. I was like, I'm not going to love this album. And then they released Say Something, I think. Oh no, maybe Car? I think it was Car. I was like, alright, I kind of like Car. Car's not my favorite either. And then Say Something, and I was like, okay, I love Say Something. And then they dropped the album. And I remember I couldn't sleep, so it was after midnight, so I'm like, I'll listen to it. And it's just banger after banger. And then this song came out, and it was one of those ones that just gives you goosebumps that you'll never forget the feeling of when you first hear it. So that's just a lock for the number one spot. Kind of like Special, the next one, I was like, wow, you remember that feeling when you first hear it. And this one was like that times 10. So it is. Shout out Lola Tongue for the music video. Great music video. It's Who's Your Boyfriend? And I am super fortunate to say I've already seen it live. Saw them in Boston with my sister right before I left. It was awesome. Great. Got to meet Otis again. Nicest guy ever. Literally the kindest, most genuine guy ever. I do feel bad because he was in his pajamas, so we probably kept him up. I feel bad, but he is the nicest guy ever and incredible voice. And it was awesome. I'm so happy I got to see that album. Favorite album of the year, got to see it that fast. Was really, really nice. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But I will do the top 3 on the Discover Weekly Gems. So yeah, these are songs from Discover Weekly. These ones I purposely picked ones that didn't come out in 2025 just to mix it up. So the first one, or I'll go 3 to 1. So we have Drunk Text by Spicy Water, Spicy with an I. Great song. That was early, I think one of the first Discover Weekly, so that was great. Then we have Ray by Runner and Bobby. Great song. And last but not least, obviously we have Mood by Mild Orange. Great song. And then they had a new album too. It was really good. Didn't make the cut, but it's fine. But it's another thing I like about Discover Weekly. You just find bands you wouldn't have found before. So that's how I came across Mild Orange. A lot of bands I came across. The Growlers I first listened to back in 2020. I'll never forget. Quarantine. I heard When You Were Made was Discover Weekly. So I think the Greeting Committee too. A lot of bands I've seen. Greeting Committee I've seen this year. Growlers, obviously. There's more. It's hard to think on the spot, but Turnover. I saw Turnover this year in June. First heard Dizzy on the Come Down back in like 2019 or 2020. So you never know. This is not an ad for Discover Weekly, not an ad for Spotify, I promise. But hope you enjoyed. I know I did. And until next year, enjoy every sandwich.